What up, YouTube? Oh, let me go this way. There we go. Need more light because dark skinned people and shade doesn't really mix well. So, I know I uploaded a video of my first year and I kind of didn't like it when I looked back at it and wanted to do a few revisions, but yeah, I took out the braids. So, all right. And sorry for the ding. My iPhone is connected to my Mac. But so first year nursing, after talking with someone too, it comes with its challenges. Um, you do not learn everything that you need to in nursing school. You're not exposed to as much. You don't know the complexity of people as much. You kind of you don't understand fully what being a nurse is until you're actually a RN. You have RN behind your name. Um, and I feel like I struggled with that a lot. And also I don't know, let me go into it and then maybe the words will come to me. All right. So I applied for many units. I was initially trying to move to Portland and that didn't work out. And then I applied to a different facility and ended up getting a position. And I worked on a med-surg unit. A lot of the patients that we get are patients with chronic conditions, mostly from nursing facilities. It kind of gets really predictable sometimes though. Like if you see younger men, like 30s to 40s, I'm like, you probably came in for cellulitis. Or if you see an elderly woman, I'm like, probably got a UTI. More than likely. Come on now. And then it was just like, yep, all right. But with med-surg, I mean you don't have to start with med-surg. It just if you can't get into where you want to go, you have to get your foot in the door. And that's basically what happened. Needed my foot in the door. And I learned a lot, but ended up finding out it really wasn't for me. Um med-surg, you're exposed to so much and then you understand there's a lot of people from different walks of life. You and then I was exposed to so much as well. Like just different types of people is the only way I can put it. And I also wanted to adjust it because I want to make sure I don't go into too much detail as well, just to be careful. Um, but yeah, started on med-surg, it's always that feelings of inadequacy. It's always like, what do I know? How can I become better? And that also causes its own stress as well. Um, med-surg, you learn about time management. You learn, you're exposed to a lot. And especially if it's a general med-surg unit like mine, you are exposed to way more than what you thought you would be. It's like knowledge overload. You don't know anything until you're exposed to it, or you have to get help with it, or some situations you literally just can't make up. You can't. Nursing, you literally, like I said, you're exposed to different types of people. You are put into some ridiculous situations as nurses, and you're like, really? Come on now. Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me right now. Come on now. But yeah. But the good thing is, like, in this first year, I have gained so many skills, a knowledge base to learn from and build upon. I gained the confidence in myself. I gained nursing judgment. And I learned to trust my gut when it comes to situations. I caught a lot of stuff in this past year that I'm like, look here, I know I might be a new nurse, but something is wrong, and I have other people looking at like the data and everything with me. I'm like, I can't put my finger on it, but something is wrong. And I also think with the multidisciplinary teams that you have, it's important to gain or to form those relationships with people, because those are the people that you're going to be working with constantly. And you have to like you have to learn how to be around people more, I guess. Honestly, and I'll be lying if I didn't say that sometimes on my off days I'm like, I need a break from human beings. I just need a break. Break. Like, sometimes I'm like, Ron, you was kind, you was smart, you was important, and you was a nurse. You chose this, Ron. Oh my God, Jesus. And sometimes I've been burnt out big time too. Our unit, we deal with like a lot of heavy patients most of the time, and like between 4 to 6 patients, 2, 3 person assists, may not all be oriented, may try to fight you with the turn and reposition. And honestly, if your patient is crazy, it's not worth doing it. Just chart the reason why. Charting backs up your actions as a nurse is the best way to put it. Like, not taken because of potential harm to staff. Refused because of aggression. I mean, not that last line, cut that. But like, honestly, if it's going to cause agitation and aggression, or like, it's best to like keep yourself safe and the people around you. It's not worth pursuing anything if it's going to make a person agitated and aggressive and combative. You have to keep yourself safe as a nurse at all times. And I learned that more from working on my unit than anything else. You learn how to advocate for patients, but I feel like that's not the most, I mean, that's important, but you also have to learn how to advocate for yourself as a nurse. We have a voice inside, we each have a voice, and you have to learn how to develop it and grasp it and just own it. What was that? Katy Perry, Hear Me Roar? Sorry, you know I'm acting a fool still, but you should feel empowered to speak up. You should feel empowered to trust your assessment skills, trust your senses, trusting your team. Like, I know it was plenty of times that I didn't. I had a patient and I wasn't sure if it was a change, and I knew someone else had the patient, and I'm like, I just need a second opinion. I'm like, do they seem different than what they were a few days ago or yesterday? Because I can't put my finger on it, and I had this patient for the first time, but something is off, and I don't know what. Yeah. And then I have dealt with a lot of different violent patient situations. I learned de-escalation skills. I learned to to make sure to get anything that could be used as a weapon out away from the patient, or just using I learned to use anything that I can think of to de-escalate the situation. I'm like, oh, what's this movie you're watching? Oh, do you like this actor? What kind of music do you like? Let's put that on that channel. How about we put on some classical music on for you? Do you like Mozart? What else? Or with dementia, people are not all there. They're not fully oriented, and I struggle with that population a lot. Personally, I'm like, I struggle. It's just I struggle. I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, you have the death grip on me. I'm just gonna walk away and leave you alone. I'm like, you sleeping. It's not worth it. I'll just move the pillow out. That counts as a position change. Let's just leave it at that. Um, yeah. And then as a male nurse, we are used big time in this female dominated profession. I feel like sometimes it's bad when they was just like, well, they only listen to other males, or they only listen to a strong voice figure, or um, just it starts getting really aggressive, and then they start abusing the male staff a lot sometimes, and that does happen. That does happen. If you're a male nurse, you know that certain situations you're just going to be, I mean, not going to be used, but like I said, we need to advocate for ourselves when we burning out. And I had to do that frequently because I'm like, no, not happening. You're done. Nope, I can't do it anymore. Um, mm, yeah, and then also like dealing with everyone's emotions as a nurse. All around the scope you deal with. And kind of keeping your own emotions in check is really hard. I find it hard all the time, like when we meet so much resistance, and it's just, or like just weird situations, like, can't go into too much detail, but just situations that you come across as a nurse, and I'm just like, wow. And like, that's why I start chewing gum. I know, like, I said the story in the last video, I ended up deleting it because I didn't like it, and I just want to make sure I be exceptionally careful with what I disclose, but and regarding HIPAA everything. But I know when I go to the gas station and pick up gum, the cashier was like, "You and your gum." I'm like, "Yeah," because if I'm chewing, I can't say anything wrong. Because some people like to get a rise out of you or just say inappropriate stuff. Like, I know one time, just like people ask me, because like I said before, I'm like, I have dreadlocks, black male nurse, and I get a few comments here and there. And it gets really rough managing that. Like, I don't know what to say, or it's just complete ignorance. And if it was directly racist, then I probably would say something back. But I was just like, I need this job. I need this job. I need this job. And I know I'm not the only one that deals with it. I know other people do because I know sometimes from other people's experiences, we have to vent to each other. Like, this is not easy profession to be in, and to deal with everyone's like emotions or different prejudices. It happens. Or like, you know, geriatric or elderly men not thinking that females can be doctors. And it was just like, my doctor didn't see me. Yes they did. They was just in here. It happens. Um And then you learn that some people's willing to change for the best for their own health and their own well-being, and some people's not. And we, as a nurse, it can be frustrating when you're trying to do everything you can to help a patient and they're not willing to help themselves. And at the end of the day, as long as you try your best and you do the best that you can by people, but if people are not going to take advantage of the resources that's offered to them, or like make that effort for a change for themselves or their families, we can't force them to. We can only do our best, and patient education is important to constantly like try to promote that change, try to be the changing agent. And I'm learning that more and more now. And I don't know. I think I struggled with that a lot in this, or still I still am struggling with it. Cause it was a few times I just reached a low point. Like, I'm not sure if nursing is really for me, but like, it's certain situations, like when someone's like, "You really helped me through the situation," or it was one time someone grabbed my arm and I thought it was about to be a different situation, and they just said, "Thank you." I'm like, "Whew," cause you got me on edge when you did that. I was like about to yell help and security because you had a strong grip on me. And before you said thank you, I thought that was about to go into a different direction. Um, yeah, and with that, as nurses, we find a strength that we normally didn't have to use before. We have to learn a strength of resiliency, a physical strength to deal with, to be on our feet for 12 hours, potentially not get a break, potentially have to hold. It was a few times I had to hold my bladder during a 2 hour long RRT, and I'm like, I can't step away and pee right now, and I'm like, are y'all gonna take this patient or not? Because they not about to be the only one incontinent right now. um, and then also you can't take care of others if you're not taking care of yourself. I struggle with like investing in certain things for myself. I need to like see a chiropractor. I need to see a massage therapist because nursing, especially when you're dealing with heavy patients, back to back is rough. And yeah, the constant repositionings, and then if you use the lift devices, use the assistive devices to help us, because it's going to be important because you don't want to risk damage to yourself, your back. I'm like, I go by the rule, if I can see your stomach, we're using the lift device, especially if you cannot move fully by yourself. We're not doing it. Or when it comes to like a lot of older patients too, I noticed that they can get really stiff sometimes because they're not able to move around as much. Or if you're turning them to like clean them up, they think they're gonna fall and then they're resisting you or resisting like the turn, and I don't know. It's very interesting situations. But yeah, you have to keep yourself safe and just physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually sane. And it's hard. I feel like it would come with more experience and practice. And, you know, I personally didn't have to deal with bullying as a nurse because I know how I would have handled the situation. So I know I haven't came across it. I have I have a supportive team. We have to support each other because patients can get to you sometimes. They can push a lot of buttons, and if you know someone has been dealing with a very um, demanding patient, you sometimes have to step in for them. Like, let me take this blood sugar for you. Let me get this med for you. Let me take the vital for you. And when they do that, when you do that for them, they're willing to do that for you too. I know sometimes it's hard. I sometimes when it's back to back and it's heavy patient, I get irritated. I'm human. I I struggle with my emotions sometimes on my shifts. Like anyone else, I feel like, and I feel like in nursing school they made it seem like we are nurses first and humans second, and that's just not the case. And I feel like I was trying so hard to be that picture too that I also have to stay true to myself as well. And I feel like it's an important balance because you need to stay professional and also be yourself. I noticed that I crack a lot of jokes. I try to, make people's I try to like be the best nurse that I can be, and I learned so much about myself in this past year and so much that I like about nursing, what I don't like about nursing, or what I don't like regarding a specialty, or what could be done better. And honestly, the healthcare is frustrating. It really is. Like, the American healthcare system is so complex, and I fully don't understand it most of the time, or what loops people have to go through to get covered as a patient for like chronic conditions, or just to receive placement or to receive the resources that they need. It's frustrating as a nurse, between the resources, or people that don't take advantage of it, or it's a lot of different components to nursing that I didn't know about. And I'm just learning how to go through it. I don't know. I don't know. It makes it more rewarding when I mean, I feel like nursing to a certain extent can be a thankless job, but like when I feel this is about to sound kind of bad, but like some of the most, what's the cautious word? Demanding patients thanked me the most, because I'm chewing gum and smiling for the most part. And I'm like, let me get you this. I'm like, dang it, I went through another pack. But, and then also with nursing and patients that's really particular, you have to learn how to predict what they're going to ask for or what they're going to do. It's not easy for everyone, because dementia patients, they just want someone in the room. And nurses, we can't do that. We have other patients that we have to take care of, and we have to make sure nothing is going wrong with anyone. Especially me working night shift, I always tell my patients, I'm like, I'm gonna peek in on you to make sure you're breathing. They was just like, you're so funny, and I'm like, I'm serious. You need to make sure you breathe. I do not need those problems, and neither do you. So yes, I'm gonna be exceptionally careful. And there's a few times I'm not gonna even be in dark skin and peeking in on patients at night, and they only able to see your teeth. I scare the crap out of people sometimes. Woo! Scared them. I'm like, I am sorry. Let me turn on the light. Cause I know one time my stepdad was like coming, he was in one of the rooms in our house, and I was just walking in the hallway. He turned around. Son, I thought you was the Grim Reaper. I thought you was gonna get me. I thought the Reaper was gonna get me today. I'm like, yep, I get that a lot. Comes with the territory, I guess. I own it. People crack jokes, as long as they not being like, extremely inappropriate. I crack jokes back. Hey, it is what it is. Um, so I'm gonna go into this funny story that happened. So I was transferring a patient to from the bathroom to the bed, and it was a older lady. And then get her to the bed. This patient was like, I almost touched your leg, or that would have been a thrill. And I'm like, for who? Who? It wouldn't have been for me. Don't try to steal any of this. That's assault, lady. Or like, and then like when geriatrics particularly can be really touchy-feely. Or it was one time that I walked into the room, there's one patient was like, you remind me of my son-in-law. I'm like, well, it's good thing this doesn't violate HIPAA, because there's a lot of people with black son-in-laws these days. Have you seen Get Out? Just not, hopefully it's not to that situation and that circumstance. I hope y'all stay safe, brothers. But, yeah. But yeah. Yeah. I was like, wow. And then it was just inappropriate comments galore. I was just like, oh my God. Yeah. I have never, like, this was an eye opener for me. Like, nursing and dealing with people is That's a skill by itself, dealing with people. And I'm like, wow. And then also, I have to give it up for social workers because I am just amazed that what they have to do to like help people like get through discharges and everything. And it's amazing. I I don't know. But this is the end of my video. I'm sorry I had to redo it. I just wanted to make sure that, I didn't say too much about certain situations. And also, I just wanted to redo it. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm sorry I deleted my last video, but I just wanted to redo this. Keep me updated. All right. Let's have an open dialogue because nursing is not easy. It comes with its own challenges. You don't learn half of the stuff that you need, not even less than half of the stuff that you need to know as a nurse and what we have to go through. We deal with so many emotions, and especially that first year, it can be bad. In some situations it can be tough. Like I said, I dealt with depression my first year just from like the situations that we was dealing with and the violent patients that we was dealing with this past year, and I was just like, I'm not sure if I honestly gonna make it. I mean, I know some people explain like some like administration can explain to you like they're in crisis and they have their own battles that they dealing with. And for me, nursing was this battle this year. I was like, I don't know if this is for me. I sometimes call my mom. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I feel lost. And I honestly, it's okay as long as you're aware of that. I had to go for help through my employer. I had to seek professional help. And I'm not afraid to say that. I needed someone to talk to. I needed someone to help me get through my first year. And I struggled. Have been I feel like I was lost. I feel like my expectations of my first year and what really happened caused a delay and caused that depression. Like, you don't always come from home like it's been rewarding. You sometimes come home like my neck, my back, it just hurts. And I like after work, I always have to rub down my back because people are not light, to be honest. Not light. And then, I was just like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna stay bedside. And I have this conversation with like other people. I was just like, yeah, we might need to go back to school. I'm thinking like health administration, nursing informatics. But then the other thing is, I want a different educational experience. I don't want to go to school in America because I know what I dealt with. And I just I feel like other. I feel like I just want a different way, or just get a different experience compared to what was offered, or what I have gained. Even though it got me to where I am today, and I'm thankful for it, but I feel like there's so much that you can learn from different places and different environments that it's not worth staying in the same spot. I hope you enjoyed my video. It ended up being a little bit longer, and I'm sorry about that. And I hope you have a blessed semester. I hope you finish off strong. I hope if you're in your first nursing career, I hope you have that support and have the resources that you need to be successful. And God bless. Bye.